Well, walking through the streets of Istanbul, taking our laundry to the laundrette.
And then going to the whorehouse.
Absolutely. So, no! So it's funny because, so the dear departed Mr. Tom Torero used to have a tradition of basically doing his laundry in the sink, didn't he? And like banging his laundry up against rocks in the river. And we were saying earlier how different that is to the current sort of state of men's self-help, where basically if you haven't got a 12-pack and 10 million in the bank, you're kind of a loser.
Yeah, and I also love the fact the endearing thing you remember about Mr. Torero is that. Only that.
No, I mean, his legacy...
Charging his phone on a solar panel and doing his laundry in the sink.
No, I mean, his legacy is obviously a little bit more than washing underpants in a sink.
Well, what would Jay Waller think of his legacy?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because we were saying people like Jay Waller and obviously the Tates and I'm sure Moran and Fresh and all these people, right? I mean, the emphasis is so much more now on, well, having a load of money and being in great shape and being incredibly socially adept and probably wearing custom-made suits and things. It's just completely different to just literally a few years ago, isn't it?
It is. And is that a bad thing? I think there's a reason for that, and I think as human beings we're always evolving, we're always leveling up. We always say it, but every year the dating market becomes more globalised, so you're not just competing with the local jack dude in the gym anymore. You're competing with every single motherfucker who can run ads and post cool videos of them doing cool shit because girls just want to have fun. So
yeah,
you've got to be better, right?
Well, do you think that on that point that the dating market is harder even than when Tom was around, which really in his heyday, we're talking a few years ago now, we're talking like a decade ago or something like that, but I mean, obviously, he was with us until a couple of years ago, but I mean, do you think that even in that fairly short time things have got a lot harder?
Yes, because the golden age of day game, when I first started learning it, I think you were kind of already in the full swing of it, was around 2012, pre-Instagram. And we had this golden window of about 2 years before Instagram and Facebook and all this stuff really, really, really took off in terms of the dating space. And then you had this grand globalization of the dating market. And obviously women, we always bang on about it, but they want to mate across or up. So they're going to see a smaller and smaller percentage of men are having more and more sex than ever. This has been studied, and our friend who will not, despite love nor money, get us on this podcast, Chris Williamson bangs on about it a lot, but there's been multiple studies showing that now there's a top percentage of men having more sex than ever, and the bottom percentile of men is having less sex than ever, right? It's not a coincidence.
So you need to get into that top percentile.
So do steroids and bang hookers.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's come to, guys. That's what the game is in 2023. I don't think I think what's happened as well is there's been an acknowledgement. There's been a sort of coming back to reality, really, and an acknowledgement that actually value has got to be part of it. And one of the problems with the early day game people and some of the early game people, if you like, who are still, there's a few old boomers out there, isn't there, who are still sort of like peddling their wares on the internet, but really they're stuck in the past, because what you've got to acknowledge is that it's not just about having a few clever lines now, is it? It's not just about, the old Torero toe or being able to recite a few clever routines.
Or the old cube in the nightclub in Nottingham, Nottingham nightclub.
Exactly, although that works pretty well as well. So yeah, basically, do steroids, get jacked, and what else?
Supplement your cold approach with certain apps and certain dating methods online, because you can't beat online leverage. You are but one man, but you cannot beat online leverage. And I think having those working symbiotically is actually the smart money. And we can help you with all of it.
Absolutely, man. You've got to just really expand it. You've got to. The frame has been broken. The old frame has been broken, and you've got to move with the times. And you've got to recognise, firstly, that value is incredibly important, and actually, arguably more important than what you're saying. And also, as well, what's really important. We're going to be talking about this in the new product that we're working out on at the moment. Is the intensity of emotion that you're arousing her at the moment when you approach, right? It's about having that sexual vibe. And a lot of guys, unfortunately, in the West, the pussified West, unfortunately just don't have that at the moment, do they?
No, that's missing well and truly. And we're going to be banging on a lot about this, especially in the Edge version 2, where we really hone in on the necessity to redevelop that masculine vibe and some practical steps to actually do so.
Exactly. Anyway, we're going down this dodgy back street now, so we'll see you on the other side, hopefully.